Hi guys, welcome again to the Oracle GoldenGate course. Today I'm gonna talk about installing Oracle GoldenGate. By the end of this lecture, you should be able to describe the requirements to install Oracle GoldenGate, install Oracle GoldenGate on a Linux or Windows platform, describe the directory structure of an Oracle GoldenGate instance, start the ggSCI command prompt, and use the obey files. You need to refer to the GoldenGate certification matrix document to know the supported operating systems and database versions. At the time of creating this video, the document Excel sheet name is as shown in the slide. Just Google that name and you would get a copy of it. Of course, you need to make sure that you're getting the latest version of that document. For example, at the time of this speech, Oracle GoldenGate version 12.2.0.1 supports Linux 6, 32 and 64-bit, and it supports Oracle database versions 12c, Release 1 and higher, and Oracle Database 11G, Release 2 and higher. On Microsoft Windows 64-bit platform, GoldenGate 12c supports Oracle Database Release 12.1.0.1 and higher, and 11.2.0.4 and higher. This slide is showing the operating system requirements. For memory, you need about 25 MB to 55 MB of memory for each extract and replicate process. Typically, if you have one replication cycle in your production system, you would have one extract, one data pump in the source database. And you would have a replicate process in the target database. For disk space, you need about 500 MB to 800 MB for the software binaries and free space for the trail files. The size needed by the trail files depends on the number of transactions. At least make sure you have 2 GB of free disk space available for the trail files. For networking, you need to open one port that will be used by the manager process and a range of ports that would be used by the other processes. Both IP version 4 and IP version 6 protocols are supported by GoldenGate. To obtain a copy of the installation files for your platform and the database, you can either get them from Oracle website or from the Oracle Software Delivery Cloud site. If you are using the Software Delivery Cloud, select the GoldenGate product, then select the platform and click on the Continue button. You will see a link where you can download the latest version of Oracle GoldenGate, and you can also obtain an old version of Oracle GoldenGate for all the versions of the databases. After installing the software in a production environment, you should apply the latest patch set of the software. As always is the case with all Oracle products, you obtain the patch set from Oracle support site. Refer to the document ID 1645495.1 to obtain the latest patch set for Oracle GoldenGate. In this course, you will learn about applying the Oracle GoldenGate patch set in a later lecture. Installing the Oracle GoldenGate software on Linux or Unix systems is quite easy. You just extract the installation zip file, run the Oracle Universal Installer from there. In the installer wizard, you don't need to select the option to start the manager process. You will do that later when you configure the Oracle GoldenGate. After the installation is finished by the wizard, issue the ggSCI command prompt and execute the command create subdirs. This command creates subdirectories under the GoldenGate home directory. You will do this in the practice that comes after this lecture. By the way, older versions of Oracle GoldenGate has a little bit different procedure in its installation than Oracle GoldenGate 12c. Those older versions don't have an installer wizard, and you need to refer to its documentation to know the installation procedure. The procedure to install Oracle GoldenGate in Windows is very similar to installing it in Linux. You extract the software binary files, then run the Oracle Universal Installer and create the subdirectories. The only difference is that you need to configure a Windows service that will automatically run the Oracle GoldenGate Manager process when you reboot your system. You just execute the command as shown in the slide to create the service. You can install multiple instances of Oracle GoldenGate for the same or different database versions on the same host. After you install Oracle GoldenGate, some subdirectories will be created. It is useful to be aware about some of those subdirectories because they contain important information. Here I'm showing a list of the most commonly used subdirectories in Oracle GoldenGate. Probably the most important subdirectories that you should be aware of at this stage are the dir.dat subdirectory, in which the trail files are saved, and the dir.prm subdirectory, in which the parameter files are saved. Oracle GoldenGate is supported by detailed and rich documentation, and it's all available online on the internet. You will see a separate installation guide for each supported database platform. There is also the administration guide, which describes the administrative operations in Oracle GoldenGate. You also have the reference guide. This guide contains reference information about the usage and syntax guidelines of all the commands and the parameters in GoldenGate. In addition, we have the error message reference, which describes all the error messages returned by the Oracle GoldenGate interfaces. Logdump reference describes all about the logdump utility. You will learn about logdump in a separate lecture. There is also a document about upgrading Oracle GoldenGate in Windows and Linux platforms. This list is just an example of the available documentation. You can get the full list of the documentation from the internet. GoldenGate is shipped with a command prompt utility called GGSCI. GGSCI is probably the most common interface to administer Oracle GoldenGate. It is also the interface that you're gonna use in all the lectures in this course. To start the utility, you just go to the GoldenGate home directory and issue the command GGSCI. If you issue the help statement in the command prompt, you will see a list of the GGSCI categories and the associated commands under each category. If you follow the help statement with any command, the output will be restricted only to that command. You will get started with using the GGSCI in the practice that comes after this lecture. This table is a matrix of the most common GGSCI commands, and it is showing to which object each can be used. As you can see, you have commands to administer the manager process, the extract, replicate, trail, and so on. ER, by the way, stands for extract and replicate processes. When you issue a command against ER, it will be sent to both the extract and the replicate processes. The script files in GoldenGate are called obey files. You save in the obey files the GoldenGate commands that you would like to run all together in one go in GoldenGate. You can create a job in the operating system level that will execute the obey files on frequent basis. Usually, obey files have the extension obey. When you enter the commands in the obey files, each command should be saved in a separate line. If the command is too long to be read in a single line, you can split the command into different lines, but you have to end each line with ampersand symbol. To run an obey file in the GGSCI command prompt, use the command obey followed by the obey file that you would like to execute, as shown in the slide. Oracle GoldenGate is shipped with useful utilities. Here is a list of some of them. def-gen is used to create data definition files in the source database. It is needed in Oracle GoldenGate of versions older than 12c. It is needed if the data structure in the source database is different from it in the target database. Key-gen is a utility to generate encryption keys. You use it when you want to generate a complicated key to be used when you implement GoldenGate encryption. Lookdump is a powerful utility used to look into the trail files. You can practically get anything saved in the trail files. This utility is quite handy in troubleshooting scenarios. CheckPRM is a utility that you can use to validate the structure of your parameter file. It is good to use it to validate the syntax of the parameters in your parameter file before you use them in production. You will learn about those utilities throughout the course lectures. So that's it for this lecture. You should have learned how to describe the requirements to install Oracle GoldenGate, how to install Oracle GoldenGate on Linux and Windows, describe the directory structure of an Oracle GoldenGate, start GGSCI command prompt, and use the obey files. In the next lectures, you will prepare the practice environment and install Oracle GoldenGate. See you guys over there. Thank you.